Did you see what the new Six Flags chain has already done to some of their parks in just a few months? Between the ride removals, repaints, and restaurant upgrades, the chain is full force ahead on new crazy investments, and the park that is by far their #1 priority is Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. This park is within a 2-hour driving range of tens of millions of potential guests, and recently it has been severely underperforming. The new Cedar Fair executives at the top of the Six Flags chain aren't letting this park stay in the dust any longer though, and you'd be shocked at how many insane new projects are already under development for this insane park. For starters, the park just removed King Ka, which was the tallest coaster in the world and likely would have remained the tallest coaster in North America for a very long time. The park also removed one of their 5 B&M coasters, the relocated stand-up coaster Green Lantern. They removed the Sky Tower and their giant Sky Flyer as well, and the Slingshot and go-karts will likely be going soon too. No park ever removes this many rides so fast without a massive plan, and I think I figured out at least a big part of it. Let's start off slow with 2026. For the 2026 season, Great Adventure will probably receive a ton of general park upgrades over the off-season. It didn't get so many this off-season as the park was in the middle of demolition, too many rides to focus on other things, and the main priority was to make sure their new coaster, The Flash, was actually ready to open on opening day after being delayed a year. Look at the upgrades over Georgia got over this past off-season, and I think you'll get an idea of where I'm going with this. I think for 2026, Nitro will get its long-awaited paint job to match the new gray and blue trains, and I think they'll put a lot of work into that area of the park in general. I would expect some aesthetic enhancements and landscaping throughout the park, and maybe some work done to slightly theme Skull Mountain. Probably a few stores and restaurant upgrades throughout the park as well, but all eyes will be on the new coaster replacing King Ka though. I'm not getting into exactly what I think will replace King Ka in this video, but whatever it is, this high-thrilling, record-breaking launch coaster will definitely be an awesome addition and will likely be one of the best coasters in the park. I think Great Adventure will focus a lot more on theming with this ride, and I think we'll see a beautiful new area of the park emerge with a deep storyline. Let's also not forget that starting in 2026, El Toro will undergo a massive 3-year retracking process, replacing almost all of its track with brand new original prefabricated track. This new area of the park will probably be built to better fit with what's already there, and I think it's just the first step in the 5-year plan of aggressive investment this park is headed down. 2027 will likely bring some new flat rides and maybe a kids area. I think they'll try to build out the area of the park where the new 2026 coaster is building the area to its true potential. We'll probably see a kiddie area introduced to the section of the park where the new 2026 coaster is, and it'll be the early signs of the park fully revamping the boardwalk area. I could see the kiddie area of the park bridging the Frontier Town vibes of Medusa and Mine Trains area with the newly themed 2026 area. The park has a kiddie area here already, so I'm talking about either a massive expansion to this or closing that area and relocating some of the kid rides to a totally new kid area. I think the park will also announce yet another coaster to open for the 2027 season somewhere near Medusa in that corner of the park. This time though, I think it'll be a fun-launched Vekoma family coaster. This would be a great fit for the park and would help give them some awesome family attractions. I could easily see a family Vekoma Boomerang or something like a smaller version of Big Bear Mountain come here in 2027, giving the park that perfect family coaster. Great Adventure has their kiddie ride Little Devil and their kiddie coaster Harley Quinn, and after that, they have the Mine Train, Skull Mountain, and the Dark Knight Wild Mouse. From there, the next step up for kids is probably Jersey Devil Coaster, which is a pretty thrilling ride with 3 inversions. The park can definitely benefit from an attraction that bridges this gap and gives families something everyone can have a blast on. A multi-launch coaster of any kind would be awesome, but I think the most likely option is a Vekoma. I wouldn't rule out a launch B&M family wing coaster or an intimate motorbike coaster, but we'll have to see who the chain works with in the next few years before we can fully guess this attraction. Now we're in 2028, which I think will be the year the park focuses on the water park. I think we'll see new restaurants and upgrades throughout the water park, as well as new slide complexes and one massive headliner attraction in the form of a brand new water coaster. The water park has barely seen any investment in the last bunch of years, and they could really do a lot to make it the elite park it could be. This will become more important in the future as the park continues to move away from the Six Flags brand and tries to brand themselves as the Great Adventure Resort. If guests are gonna make a 3-day trip here, and they could spend a day and a half in the park, half a day at the safari, and another half a day at an awesome water park, that'll be a major seller for the resort. That's why I believe Great Adventure will start to make Hurricane Harbor a much bigger priority in 2028 and beyond. I think in 2028, the park will also begin construction on a massive project for 2030, which will later be announced as a brand new on-site hotel. If Cedar Fair gave Carowinds a hotel, then they're definitely going to give one to Great Adventure. I also think the park will expand the offerings of their current on-site glamping experience, Savannah Sunset, all coming with a massive brand new park expansion for 2030. Before that though, I think we'll see the park work on some overall general enhancements for the 2029 season, along with a massive new 300-foot drop tower somewhere near Superman to replace the fallen Zumanjiro, which was demolished a few months ago. 2030 I think will be the year things go full circle. I think all the investment the park will get in this new 2026 area will all be laying the groundwork for the final piece of the puzzle. I think we'll see the park open a massive B&M Giga Coaster or something of that scale that will interact with the front entrance. This new coaster will be the major headliner the park really needs. Maybe a Mack Extreme Spinner or maybe a Mack Striker coaster, but I personally think the B&M Giga is the perfect way to go. This will be the end of the transformation coming to the entire boardwalk area of the park. The removal of the Sky Flyer, go-karts, and slingshot will free up more than enough space in the boardwalk area to complete it with a massive new headliner roller coaster. This coaster will be able to interact with the front gate and will truly transform the front entrance area of the park. It's something the park really needs to do, and will give it more of that complete feel. A brand new front entrance and a redo of their parking lot will also be well-deserved upgrades, and all this will come along with the brand new Great Adventure Resort Hotel. I think this is when the park will really drop the Six Flags name, focusing on its own identity as the true theme park giant it really is. At this point, Great Adventure would truly look like a top-tier park and would have a lineup of rides and attractions that really battle the top parks in the country. The chain would then be able to settle for a slightly less aggressive investment approach, opening new coasters every 3 to 4 years until they fully develop the park to its full potential. Think of a Great Adventure with 2 more massive thrill coasters and an insane highly themed family coaster with great capacity. That on top of El Toro, Nitro, and Jersey Devil, Batman, Superman, and Medusa gives the park a super lineup of high thrill attractions. There's also Skull Mountain, Joker, The Dark Knight, Harley Quinn, Mine Train, and Little Devil, which are great family and kiddie coasters. A beautiful new front entrance area with the new Flash to one side and a stunning new highly themed area on the other side. Then add on top of that the upgraded water park and the brand new hotel. This is where the park needs to get to feel somewhat complete, and I think this is exactly phase 1 of Great Adventure's master plan. 5 years of record investment, including a total of 3 new coasters, isn't something too ambitious for a park that just lost 2 coasters, one of which was Kingda. After that, we could see the park focus on expanding other areas like the Pine Barrens backed by Jersey Devil or the waterfront where Joker is. There's so much they'll be able to do after they get the park up to the level it needs to be at, but that's gotta happen first and fast. Obviously, all this depends on if the park actually performs, and I think it will. Cedar Fair is running the Six Flags chain now, and they know what they're doing when it comes to building a quality park. I don't think we'll be able to recognize Great Adventure in 5 years from now, and that's what has me the most excited for this park. Cedar Fair did a perfect job with Kings Island, and I think they're about to do it again here. Great Adventure is by far the main focus of the chain over the next few years, but there's another legacy Six Flags park that's already been seeing some of the biggest enhancements it's ever gotten, and it too is on a rapid investment plan. Though not as aggressive as Great Adventure, the new Six Flags chain is currently heavily investing in Six Flags Over Georgia to build it into a true top-tier park. And you're never gonna believe how many things the park is already working on top of what they've already gotten recently for 2025. Over Georgia is headed in the right direction, and it's heading up fast. Click here for Six Flags' insane plan for Over Georgia that's already underway.